Danielle.
Thank you very much. Thanks to all of you guys for coming out today. Who stopped the rain? Are we going to stop the rain? Because I don't want to get rained on today. So hopefully we'll be able to stop the rain. Personally, I want to thank all of you for coming out today. I know all the babies who are here and all the families who you're supporting, even if you haven't been touched by this yourself. Appreciate all the support that you've given them. As Carson mentioned, my name is Danielle Bischoff, and like many of you, I have traveled a journey that's changed the way that I look at life. Bringing home a newborn should be a happy and exciting time. Choosing the perfect take-home outfit, taking lots of pictures, and arriving at home with a stork in the yard and visitors to welcome you. For our family, as with many of yours, we had a very different experience. After delivering our first child in 2009, we marveled at how perfect she was. At 6 weeks old, she started having seizures and was diagnosed with an extremely rare brain abnormality. We were admitted to Fairfax Inova Hospital, and I can't say enough good things about the way we were treated while we were there. So hands up to Fairfax Inova. She was up to 60 seizures a day before they decided that we needed to go ahead and do brain surgery. The result of the brain surgery has given her an outcome of cerebral palsy with left-sided hemiparesis, which is partially paralyzed on the left side. We're very thankful for everything the March of Dimes has done to help research cerebral palsy and outcomes for children with this diagnosis so that they can lead as normal lives as they can. As you can imagine, we were nervous about having other children. They promised us everything would be fine and that this was a very rare disorder. Famous last words, right? We were excited when we found out we were pregnant with twins, and we're trying to figure out how our family dynamics were going to change with these new additions. After 3 months of bed rest and being separated from my husband and our 17-month-old daughter, we delivered twins in October of 2010 at 25 weeks and 6 days. For those of you who've traveled this journey, you know how every day makes a difference in whether these babies will survive. We delivered a daughter named Cole, a daughter named Kendall, and our son named Cole. Our daughter was 1 pound 7 ounces and unfortunately lived for just over 1 day. Our son, affectionately referred to as Iron Man, was 2 pounds 2 ounces. He went into cardiac arrest as we were being wheeled down to the NICU to say goodbye to our daughter. Torn, not knowing who to visit first, we went to spend time with our son and our daughter. After going into cardiac arrest, he was diagnosed with stage 4 intraventricular hemorrhage, which is a brain bleed. He has been diagnosed with hydrocephalus, has had 2 brain surgeries, and he needed eye surgery, which has left him with long-time vision issues. We firmly believe that the surfactant treatments that he received in the hospital gave him the support that he needed to survive. A treatment that is a result of the direct funding that people like you are giving to the March of Dimes so that they can do the research to bring new treatments to babies. The day I was discharged from the hospital, I was looking forward to being home with my husband and my daughter. I was devastated to leave our baby behind. I was recovering from surgery and exhausted at the thought of planning a funeral. As I packed my things to leave, our social worker knocked on the door to say goodbye, and she brought in a beautiful box. After she left, I carefully opened the box, and I reached for a scrapbook as I held my daughter's blanket close. As I flipped through the pages, I was reminded of how tiny her feet were, how beautiful her little hands were, and how much I truly missed a baby that I barely knew. I often look through this box, and I look at her picture pictures when I want to feel close to her. I can guarantee that without the March of Dimes, I wouldn't have had the energy or the strength to be able to put together that box or a scrapbook that is so beautiful and brings me closer to our baby girl. Room 201, bed 1, medical record 8334416. A number I will never forget, ingrained in my memory as a password of how I was able to go see my son. Every day for 94 days we visited our son in the NICU. A room with 25 beds, lined with monitors, machines, and noises that you can't imagine unless you lived it. A sterile hospital with busy doctors and nurses, some of whom are here with us walking today. You sit next to the isolette for hours, watching your baby breathe, and just hoping that it's going to continue. Some days, hoping for no change, because that's better than going backwards. You learn new vocabulary words, like intraventricular hemorrhage, periventricular leukomalacia, pericardial effusion, and PEEPs. PEEPs. I thought those were for Easter. Apparently not. They became an everyday question for our doctors about how our son's progress was going. Our son Cole was not home for his first Halloween onesie, for his first Thanksgiving onesie, for his first Christmas onesie. He had no clothes or blankets for what felt like forever. But for every holiday, our son had a scrapbook page with his name, with a picture and decorations for his isolette. Some days it was the only color in the room. Without the March of Dimes, the nurses would not have had the supplies to make a photo book or pictures to decorate his isolette. It's amazing the happiness something so simple can bring when a lot of your days are filled with bad news. I used to open our son's isolette drawer, hoping that there were new pictures in his photo book. I used to open the drawer and look for the first time he was able to have food, not TPN. The first day he had his bath. The first time he was able to wear clothes. All in a book for me to look at when we were having a tough week. And these are keepsakes for both my son and my daughter to remember Cole's humble beginnings and have something to remember their sister. These are but a few examples of how the March of Dimes has impacted our family. The March of Dimes made us feel like Colton was our son, not 8334416, not room 201, bed 1, our son. And in a world where you struggle to figure out how to be a mom, when you can't hold your baby, you can't feed your baby, and you can't tell your baby it's going to be okay, just being our son and not a number makes all the difference in the world. We must keep these feelings alive to remember how important this cause is for all those who are going to be coming after us. So let's not forget how important our individual contributions can be when we pool our efforts, our energy, and our financial resources to make a difference. Now let's put our hands together to celebrate the babies we will miss, the babies we hold today, and the babies that are going to receive support from the March of Dimes only because all of you are here today.
Yay! Make some noise! Thank you, Danielle. Sweet. One of the things I always say about being on the radio is we like to entertain, inform, and motivate people to do good. That's why we're involved with organizations like